Band Bros, baby.
Hey, yo, bro, look, what is good, y'all? Ladies and gentlemen, you feel me? The time has finally come, bro. Look, the time has finally come. First of all, it's your boy Nigel, if you already don't know, from the Band Bros. Hey, look, it's time to get these videos in. It's time to get these videos in, these reactions in, these thoughts in. Hey, I heard it went down in the MECCA. Now, look. Usually I'm one who likes to go in order. I usually like to go in order. So if I was going in order, I would have personally wanted to do Dallas, Mississippi, and regulators. Then I would have wanted to do Georgia versus New Orleans on the field. Then I would have tried to find them in the stands afterwards in order. But I'm not going to lie. Everybody's been saying, look, bro, if you react to a video, you need to react to Georgia versus New Orleans, period. You need to react to them on the stands and on the field first. You feel me? So I'm going to try to go a little out of the way and everything, because if I'm being real with you, when I really think about it, I really want to see what Georgia brings to the table. Now, as y'all know, the percussion connection, the uncut percussion connection, the uncut band chat, you feel me? Showtime Web's live stream yesterday, which, by the way, I only watched as soon as the bands got into the stands. I stopped watching. I didn't want to have no pre-thoughts. I wanted to wait until I actually watched this video to really give my true thoughts. I didn't want nobody, to really have me convinced off of what they said. You feel me? I read what people were saying, but I didn't want to hear it from myself until I really watched this video. Now, as y'all know, if I'm keeping it a buck with y'all, like I said before, if you haven't already, I did a a mid-season, my apologies. I did a mid-season top 5 band rankings, you feel me, of the mass band season. I had NCMB at number 5, which I'm not gonna lie, Dallas played a strong case as well, but I still low-key feel like I'm gonna go with NC. Number 4, I had Georgia. Number 3, I had Memphis. Number 3, I had New Orleans. Number 2, I had Memphis. And number 1, I had Mississippi. But I also said that list can change. And I'm not going to lie, it's already changing. I believe NC is still at number 5. I really do. I also believe that Georgia is no longer at 4. If I'm being completely honest with you, I'm sorry for the people who view this video who think I'm lying, but I low-key think I got to move Memphis to number 4. Let's just be honest. Memphis is not going to be the repeating champs this year. They're just not. They're not. Too many mistakes on their own account. Not that they were ass, but they made too many mistakes, and those mistakes came back to bite them in the ass. You see what I'm saying? With that being said, I believe between New Orleans, Georgia, and Mississippi, it's really that little shuffle right there. And that's what I need to see today, for real. I haven't seen none of these videos. Hey, what I will say is this, though. I said before, I can't really rank Georgia because they wasn't battle tested yet. But I'm not going to lie. If anybody has the best advantage in this situation, is Georgia. Y'all had all season with no battles to really build y'all book, to really pay attention to what these bands play, how they play, the arrangements they coming with, and y'all got a chance to really capitalize on every single thing. And I low-key believe Georgia has the chance to do that, and I actually think they did do that. Does that mean Georgia will get the number 1 spot? We will see. But like I said before, brought to you by Killer Kev Productions, we have the first video I'm going to get done for y'all. I'm finna get done this Georgia versus New Orleans on the field portion first. Then I'm probably gonna move on to Georgia and New Orleans in the stands, if I'm being honest with you. Because like I said before, it's no knock to Mississippi. I just don't believe Mississippi. Yes, they beat Memphis last week. I just don't know if Mississippi really can fuck with Georgia or New Orleans. That's why I'm choosing. I really want to watch these two. So we finna see what this battle is really hitting on. So look, man, hey, for those who've been waiting for me to get this video out, for those who are here, look, if you haven't already, subscribe, share, show love, man. We finna get into this. We are finna get into this. Killer Kev, what y'all got? Let's get it.
This is Killer Kev.
Damn, Georgia is deep as hell. Okay. Okay, Mellows. Okay, Mellows. Hey, first song out the gate for GAMB. My apologies for GAMB. All right, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Okay. Talk to me, Bones. Talk to me. Okay, okay, Georgia. Hey, I was hoping y'all play something different besides what we already seen. Not throwing shade either. Just want to see how y'all coming. Damn, tubas. Okay. Hey, GA is in the building. GA is in the building. GA is in the building. Okay. I'll leave it just like that, New Orleans. Wouldn't even run it back. Y'all run it back. I would have left it at that one and done, for real. Okay, so look, y'all know me. I'm not a horn player. Drummer, you feel me? But some things that stand out to me kind of feel a little weird at times. Like, for example, this tuba part, right? I like the tuba part. Y'all are back there pushing watts. But that ending of that phrase kind of felt a little weird. Listen to it again. Listen to it right here. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So look, round one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love being in this position. I always read y'all comments, and y'all comments always say like, "Man, KB the band head better not be dick riding a certain band and stuff." Y'all be on his ass, and that shit be funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all be cooking this nigga. Look, in my position, I love both bands, but I'm not favored towards either or, if that makes sense, right? But this is just where I have to separate the difference for me. Both of those arrangements were smacking, yo. They was. Let's not act like they wasn't pushing watts. But what happened, in my opinion, was I think New Orleans, it was a self-inflicted wound. And what I mean was, it wasn't even the tuba part. I don't think y'all should have ran that back. It didn't sound bad, but Georgia already is coming in there when nobody. First of all, Georgia looks like a big ass bumblebee. You feel me? Like that's they just big, like a big yellow starburst. But like, regardless of the fact, like, they're in there pushing watts, just like y'all are. New Orleans, we already know one thing, niggas, it's hard for niggas to fuck. Everybody can do it, but New Orleans got a different sound when it comes to watts, like sound for real, for like a big ass wall, yo. Well, Georgia has the same potential, but on top of that, Georgia, I like what Georgia did. They came in there, they played that song, punch niggas in the face. First song, first time a lot of y'all niggas are hearing us, and we chilling. We ain't even running it back. New Orleans, it kind of came off in a way like y'all I'm not going to say greedy, but it came off in a way like y'all wasn't convinced enough. I like that better. It came off like y'all wasn't convinced enough in that song. It sounded good. I'm not saying y'all didn't know it. So for the New Orleans people who watch this, hey, bro, please don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying, oh, man, it sounded like niggas didn't know it. It just sounded like y'all was like, oh, nah, let's run it back one more time to show these niggas we ain't playing. When it could have been a bigger statement if you'd have hit them one good time and backed the fuck off and left it at that. Because with that being said, low-key, I think I'm favoring towards Georgia that first round. Because both arrangements was really close. I think that's what just put them over the top. Their confidence to play it one time and let it be at that, rather than, oh, we're going to play it, we're going to run it back. Because what happens is, in my personal opinion, when y'all ran it back, you kind of get a little bored with it. Crowd perspective-wise, you kind of do. Y'all might not, obviously, for obvious reasons. But crowd perspective, you kind of get a little boring. I would have loved for y'all to play that one time and smack them niggas in the face back, this was a very good response for an arrangement, and left it at that. Because I would have gave that a top. I would have gave that around the top if y'all would have went just that one time. Then what happens is, once you run it back, you end up being in that position where the tubas did do that note, which some people might say, nah, that's how it's supposed to be. Hey, respect. I'm not trying to step into the realm of a tuba player, but then you got all these people who start calling off stuff. Like, so that's my opinion. So that first round, I'm going to go Georgia. Let's keep it going. I'm not gonna lie, Georgia sound good, yo. Hey, I hear y'all, Mellows. Hey, Georgia. I hear y'all, Bones. I hear y'all. Hey, Bones and Tubas together right now, y'all sounding real good. Damn. Whew. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I know Georgia had time to prepare. I don't think that gives anybody an advantage. I don't think that really gives them an advantage. Hey, but Georgia, hey, bro, Georgia is Georgia right now. Yeah, Georgia. And don't even run it back. I like that. Don't even run it back. Just let it be like that. I like that. That when it done shit hit a little different at times. Hey, this is a solid response, New Orleans. This is a solid response. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, are those like banner niggas over there with the flags? Cause it look like a nigga I'm looking at. I don't think that's a woman. No disrespect. Watch, what y'all got them damn flags up in there for? Put them hoes down. Yeah, I like this. This is a good response. This is a real good response, New Orleans. See, this is what I mean, right? It means it, bro. I'm not the only one who I've seen who said this, right? But it makes a hard, stronger statement if you play a song, execute it, and leave it at that. Have we not seen, no disrespect, when bands get cocky, Memphis, and they allow themselves to sit here and run a song back a couple times, and then a mistake finally does happen, right? Not saying that every time a band runs it back, a mistake happens. But when you play a song one good time, maybe twice, depending on how tough the arrangement is, yeah, that's a statement, right? In this case, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Georgia, like I said before, I don't want people to feel as if like, oh man, well, Georgia hasn't battled people all season. They might have the opportunity right now, right, to sit here and capitalize on all that. Some people I've seen in the comments were like, man, Georgia has an advantage. Look, this is mass band season. Like, I don't really think there's no such thing as having an advantage unless you're just ass like the regulators going against Georgia. Or ass like the regulators going against fucking New Orleans or something like that. Nah, it's not like it's a difference like that. You feel me? But in this case, right? In this case, Georgia, I don't think Georgia has an advantage. And this is what I mean by that. Yes, they've seen y'all do fuck ups all season and everything, but they've been learning arrangements just like y'all been learning arrangements. Yeah, instead of a Saturday of them having a performance, they have another day of practice, so maybe they could tune up on some songs. But I feel like, personally, Georgia's book might be as big as some of these other bands' books. It just so happens that maybe they just sound a little cleaner on stuff. That's neither here or there. Look, I'm going to get out around the top. 2-1, going to Georgia. Hey, Georgia is coming with the shit, bro. Georgia is coming with some heat, yo. We are 11 minutes in. We got about a good 14 minutes to go. 2-1, this I can tell this is going to be a close battle. Both of these bands, I feel like, fit each other really well. But you know what it's going to come down to? The versatility of these arrangements. They both got power. They both got sound. They both got drum lines. They both got it all, bro. All, yo. My apologies. It's the small things that separate them. Right now, in my opinion, like I said, that first round, that was the reason why it was a separation. This round, personally, it ain't much of a separation in this, in my personal opinion. They both sound fucking good. That's what I like about not being like from New Orleans or Georgia. I'm not going to have that bias factor. They both sound good, and I can't take nothing away from them. So 2-1, let's keep it going. Right there, trumpets. So far, this is a solid arrangement. That's one of them versatile songs right there. New Orleans, how y'all finna respond? That's one of them songs. I would love to see what y'all respond with right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Good job, Georgia. They've been in the lab. They've been in the lab. I'm telling you, they've been in the lab, yo. Okay. That was what, round 3? I'm assuming they probably have maybe 2 more rounds, maybe 1 more round, 2 more rounds. Look, I remember I reacted to New Orleans when they went against Memphis a while back and they played that song, and I said that arrangement was kind of mid. Well, listen, my apologies. Because back then at that time it did kind of sound mid, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all really worked on that. And when I say mid, right, some people say mid because it doesn't sound good horn-wise. I say mid because it's the energy that it gives off, right? There are certain arrangements that's when they're played, you feel that energy. The crowd feels and feeds off of that energy. Georgia really threw a Pokemon card out there. I'm not gonna lie. Because they switched it up. All right, we don't crunk. Now we want to see what y'all niggas is really coming with when it comes to the versatility of these arrangements. You feel me? And I'm not gonna lie. I done heard a couple of little slip ups of a horn here or there in both arrangements of that round. But I low-key still feel like, in my honest opinion, feel like Georgia's arrangement just hit a little bit more. I think and I think the reason why I say that, nothing against New Orleans, the reason why I say that about Georgia is because like it felt like I got a little bit more of a taste of that arrangement. Like for real, that arrangement by New Orleans was solid, went by pretty quick. Whereas with Georgia, I felt that a little bit more. Like I actually felt like it was like a beginning, a middle, and a conclusion, right? So I think I low-key gotta go Georgia that, making it 3-1 for real. So let's keep it going. You got him on the podium too? This is another solid one. This is solid, Georgia. Hey, solid. No, that was solid. That was an interesting round, right? That was an interesting round. Reason being, right? Reason being, sorry, I got something in my eye. Reason being why that was a very interesting round was because, for one, it felt like those two arrangements was more so dedicated to the dancers, right? Nothing wrong with that. Little dance routine, as if you're on a field show and you know you're on a field show and it's the dance routine portion, right? Nothing wrong with that. That's the vibe I got from both of those arrangements. But what's wild is originally, right? The score's 3-1 so far. Originally, I was actually leaning towards New Orleans for that point, right? I really was. But the thing is, and it made me kind of really notice this for the past two rounds from New Orleans especially, it feels like, for real, I don't know why, maybe I'm tweaking. I could be tweaking. I really could. But it just feels like the arrangements are so short, you know? Now, I'm not finna sit here and be like, GAMB gets that point, because if I'm being honest with you, both of those arrangements was pretty even. So I give that a tie, making it 4-2, right? I give that a tie. But yeah, maybe I'm tweaking. Y'all comment, tell me if I'm wrong or something like that. I'm not listening for those, because listen, I know it's gonna be some people who watch this video who are gonna be trying to either one, think I'm trying to be disrespectful or something, and I'm not. This is just how I'm really receiving this, in my point of view. It just feels like I'm not getting the full entree when it comes to New Orleans, especially these last two rounds. But I understand what type of round that was, though. So that's why I'm not really mad. I'm just noticing that, and I'm just stating it. But that's neither here. So we up 4-2 right now. Georgia's up 4-2. Hey, this looks like it's probably going to be the last round before we go to the stands. So I'm ready to see the stand battle as well. So obviously, y'all already know, don't take none of this shit to heart. This is just a little field snippet. So let's keep it going. That man Bugs up there too? How you coming, big dog? I route this arrangement from the Meet the Mash, man. I ain't gonna lie. I like this. Georgia ain't doing no run backs, bro. They ain't doing no revamps. They ain't did no revamps. One and dones. I'm telling you, that shit kind of makes a statement. Ah. Solid response. I'm not gonna lie. That nigga Bear. Hey, look, and that concludes the first part of the field battle between Georgia Mass Band and New Orleans All-Star Band. Hey, look, first let me say shout out to both programs. Shout out to Killer Kev. Listen, for that round, Scott, I think that was, I don't want to say I was wrong, but I think that was Skyfall that Georgia played. I don't want to be wrong though. If I am, my apologies. Listen. Georgia, I fuck with that. I fuck with what they played. I really did. But I also fuck with what New Orleans played too. Like, I also did. That's why I hate, listen, I don't mind giving ties because if I'm being real with you, like, I mean, I know some people be wanting me to choose a band, but in a case like this, listen, I mean, I'm not finna like micromanage and go down to the smallest factor of what makes a band not as good as the other band or what they played, right? That's why I like being a drummer reacting to this shit and not a horn player. Because I feel like if I was a horn player, y'all would really be trying to get mad at me or stuff like that. Nah, from my perspective, listen, from a drummer's perspective, bro, we don't hear this shit from behind, bro. I hear straight drums and tenors plucking and snares chopping and cymbals crashing. I don't hear none of that band shit for real. So being on the front side, hearing this, it's a different sound. And from my perspective, bro, it's translating very well from both bands. I'm not gonna lie to you. I see that New Orleans is definitely cleaned up on a lot of stuff that they've, were kind of messy on in some departments previously. That being said, for that last round, because regardless, I'm gonna be real with you, Georgia won. Honestly, I feel like I can get that last round a tie. If you wanted me to really, really choose who moved me a little bit more, though, I think New Orleans moved me just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. That's how close it was. I'm talking about like on a scale of 1 to 10. Oh man, this is a good one. I think Georgia's arrangement on a scale of 1 to 10 could have been an 8.5 and New Orleans might have been a 9. Just for me personally. Like, It's certain arrangements that bring out the true type of band, mass band, or I guess the style of mass band in certain arrangements. I think I like that song by New Orleans. That really shows like New Orleans type of style, right? Nothing against Georgia though. Hey, tough as arrangement. That being said, whether it's a tie, meaning it will be 5-3, whether that means it goes to New Orleans, making it 4-3, right? I think Georgia outwitted New Orleans just by a point, maybe two, depending on how y'all want to take it. I think Georgia outwitted them just by that. And if I'm being real with you, you know what the biggest difference maker was for me in this field so far, that I can already tell what's going to happen when it gets into the stands? It's the fact that Georgia is dictating this battle. Now, I get it. Georgia, usually when a band goes first, obviously they have the control over what they play and what the other band might respond back with. You feel me? But overall, listen, this is given, what year is this? This is 2024. This is given 2022 season for Georgia, right? Where Georgia, small, that size small, I'm not talking about baby small. I'm talking about small where, remember they went down to New Orleans and they beat New Orleans when the Tubas and all them died out from New Orleans, you feel me? Then Georgia got big as hell and then no one took them serious and all that because all they did was whole note, half notes and shit, right? This is the versatile Georgia. This is the versatile Georgia right here. That is the best prime type of Georgia to go against because like they can do everything. And they've had enough time to build a book. Listen, if Georgia came in this bitch, right, and was playing some of the same songs they played, which they haven't really played none of the same songs, I think, besides one so far, it means these niggas low-key went and built the book on niggas. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Whereas when these bands was battling each other and all that stuff like that, Georgia's just been in the lab. And I'm going to be honest with you. On top of that, Georgia sounds really clean, yo. I'm not saying they sound perfectly clean, but they sound really clean. And I really, listen, I don't know, but I low-key feel like how I can see how this stand battle is finna go. So look, that being said, I'm gonna get y'all this content. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, comment, share, tell me what y'all think, like, all that shit. Y'all already know how this shit get. Because this battle is so good, I'm not even finna go off the rails here and go look at the other bands yet, Mississippi and all them. I'm gonna do that a little later. I'm gonna go right into this stand round with Georgia and New Orleans, man. I'm gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna see how this goes because the reason why I'm willing to do it is because if I'm being real with you, I don't think Mississippi is ready yet, or maybe capable. I don't know whatever words y'all want to use. I just don't think Mississippi is coming home with that crown against either one of these bands yet. We've seen Mississippi go against Memphis. Memphis shot themselves in the foot. Mississippi capitalized. These two bands aren't the type of bands that's going to shoot themselves in the foot, if you know what I mean. Like, they're just not. They're not. You feel me? They might fuck up and have a messy note, but a fuck up like what Memphis did is not going to happen in New Orleans and Georgia. That being the case, I don't think Mississippi is going to crack and get that number one spot against one of these bands. So, with that being the case, that makes it kind of easier for me because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just go over to the stand round of Georgia and New Orleans. So look, I'm going to get y'all this content. If y'all fuck with this video, y'all already know what to do. That's the BandBruhz, and I'll see y'all real soon. I'm out.
It's the BandBruhz, baby.